Thank you. Oh, I'm sweating. Congrats. Thank you.
And now to the latest in that police shooting in Clinton County. State police now tell us this all unfolded at a gas station near State Road 28 at the Frankfort exit. Our Chase Howell joins me in studio tonight after learning the suspect who died was connected to a crime scene more than 150 miles away.
Monday, November 18, 2024, just after dawn, the air in Springfield Township, a quiet suburb near Cincinnati, Ohio, held the usual promise of a new week. Homes sat still under the morning sky, lives beginning their routines. But this morning, that peace wouldn't just be disturbed, it would be utterly destroyed. Emergency calls came in reporting gunfire. Responders raced to a home on Lincoln Avenue. There, outside, they found her, 33-year-old Lacresha Black. She was unresponsive, struck by multiple shots. The life that friends described as beautiful, kind, and resilient, was gone, just like that. Think about the suddenness, the raw, immediate finality of violence arriving on an ordinary morning. Steps from your door. Has something this abrupt, this fundamentally wrong, ever pierced the quiet safety you expect in your own neighborhood? Authorities arrived quickly. Their investigation started right there on the pavement. Information pointed fast to one person. 42-year-old Terea Brown. She was known to Lacresha, but by the time police identified her, Terea Brown had vanished, her vehicle speeding away from Springfield Township, leaving behind chaos and a life extinguished. The immediate escape signaled something clear. This was not a random act, and a desperate race was now underway. A suspect was identified, a crime had been committed, but the story was far from over. It was just beginning to accelerate down an interstate, because Terea Brown was already driving hard, putting miles between herself and the scene, setting in motion a cross-state pursuit that would culminate in Indiana with police surrounding her vehicle, and a final, deadly outcome. What force erupted in the early morning hours, transforming a private conflict into a public act of fatal violence and a desperate chase across state lines? That's the heart of this tragedy. Stay with us as we piece together the events of that day and the relationship that led to it. This is a story of lives intertwined in a moment of violence that ripped them apart. Before we continue, if you find these explorations of true crime important and impactful, please take a moment to subscribe to the channel and give this video a like. Welcome to Whistles of True Crime, where we unveil the darkest mysteries and the most chilling true crime tales. If you crave real-life crime stories that will keep you on the edge of your seat, you are in the right place. Kindly subscribe to this channel now, and turn on the notification bell, so you never miss any of our new stories. Your support keeps these stories alive. This tragic story unfolded in Springfield Township, Ohio, a Cincinnati suburb known for its green spaces and a typical suburban feel. Like any community, it faces the reality of crime. Statistics show that while perceptions of safety vary, serious incidents, including gun violence, do occur but not often. This seemingly ordinary place tragically became the initial backdrop for the events of November 18, 2024. Before the sirens, before the tape, before she became a case file, Lacresha Renee Black lived. Born in Cincinnati on August 31, 1991, she was 33 years old when her life was taken. Those who knew her remember a person described over and over as beautiful inside and out. A good sweet person, someone always smiling and being goofy. Memories shared online paint a picture of resilience. Comments noted she had been through so much, yet she maintained a spirit that left an impression. A friend named Gabrielle Page recalled fun days working together, venting, and shit-talking, moments that feel achingly normal, underscoring the sudden void left by her absence. Her community would gather later that month, on November 30th, at the House of Joy in Cincinnati, for a visitation and funeral, a collective moment of sorrow for a life cut short. Then there is Terea Denise Brown, also from Cincinnati, born February 23, 1982, at 42, her life would also end on the same day as Lacresha's, November 18, 2024, while initial reports placed her death in Cincinnati. The reality was different, and it connects directly to the unfolding drama after Lacresha's death. Terea Brown died far from home, in Clinton County, Indiana, following the desperate pursuit we touched on earlier. Unlike the warm tributes for Lacresha, public information about few glimpses available paint a different picture, one overshadowed by the events of that single, tragic morning. The link between Lacresha Black and Terea Brown wasn't casual. They were married. Their union, however, was brief, lasting less than a year. A friend of Lacresha's shared with WCPO9 News that their relationship was constantly on again off again, marked by frequent arguments. This wasn't a partnership rooted in stable ground. It was volatile, prone to friction. This background is crucial to understanding the events that unfolded. What exactly was the dynamic that could escalate so violently? The scene itself that morning holds telling details. The shooting happened outside Lacresha's apartment, located on Lincoln Avenue in Springfield Township. Around 7 a.m., Lacresha suffered multiple gunshot wounds. A brutal, undeniable attack. But a key piece of information adds another layer. The 911 call reporting the shooting came from a male friend or caretaker who was inside Lacresha's home at the time. His presence there, not her spouse, hints strongly at separation or significant strain.
This is 911. Do you have an emergency?
Yes, someone's dead. She got shot.
She got shot in the head?
Yes, with bullets.
Lacresha was pronounced dead at the scene, and as police arrived, Terea Brown was already gone, her vehicle fleeing the area immediately. This wasn't a crime with an apprehended suspect standing over the victim. It was a crime where the identified suspect vanished into the morning, confirming this was deeply personal, not random. The stage was set. The volatile marriage had reached a breaking point, ending one life. But what transpired in those final moments outside Lacresha's home? And where was Terea Brown headed in her desperate flight? The story was accelerating, and the answer lay over 100 miles away. From the moment Terea Brown sped away from Lincoln Avenue in Springfield Township, a race against time began. Her black Chevrolet Cruze became the focus of an urgent search. Ohio authorities moved fast, broadcasting a regional alert across state lines. Every police cruiser, every officer on patrol in the surrounding areas was now looking for that specific car, and the woman believed to be inside. The alarm was raised. The hunt was on. Just over 2 hours later, the alert paid off. Over 150 miles northwest of Cincinnati, in Clinton County, Indiana, an Indiana State Police trooper spotted the black Chevrolet Cruze. It was traveling northbound on Interstate 65, near the 149-mile marker, around 9:30 that morning. The distance covered in such a short time speaks to the desperation of the flight. This was the vehicle. This was likely the suspect. Indiana State Police troopers attempted to initiate a traffic stop, but the Chevrolet didn't slow down. Instead, it accelerated. A high-speed pursuit began on the interstate, a dangerous dance between law enforcement and the fleeing suspect. The chase continued northbound on I-65, pushing past the 158-mile marker before the vehicle finally exited onto State Road 28 near the town of Frankfort. The pursuit was now on local roads. The chase ultimately came to an end not long after exiting the highway. Terea Brown's vehicle stopped on County Road 800 West, just south of State Road 28. Coming to rest near a gas station, the immediate danger of the high-speed chase lessened, but the situation became a standoff. Police cruisers surrounded the stopped car. Officers held their positions, weapons drawn. They waited. Then, a critical, terrifying moment, a gunshot rang out. It came from inside Terea Brown's vehicle. This sudden act instantly elevated the risk. Indiana State Police troopers present at the scene responded, discharging their firearms towards the car. In that moment, the situation was chaotic. It was not immediately clear if the shot from inside the car was aimed at officers or fired for another reason entirely.
Appreciate all the response from the surrounding agencies. We had people from here, from Clinton County, Tippecanoe County, Boone County, so agencies from all around came to assist with this, and we appreciate their quick response to assist our officers.
Given the gunshot and the uncertainty of the situation, knowing she was a homicide suspect and now possibly actively firing, the Indiana State Police SWAT team was called in. Tinted windows on the vehicle prevented a clear view inside, adding another layer of caution. The SWAT team approached the stopped car slowly, using an armored vehicle for cover against a potentially armed individual. This was the final approach to the vehicle, the culmination of the cross-state flight. When the SWAT team finally reached and accessed the Chevrolet Cruze, they made a grim discovery. Terea Brown was deceased inside the vehicle, a firearm was found nearby. 2 Indiana State Police troopers, Sergeant Jonathan Haw and Trooper Joseph Malone, were identified as having discharged their weapons during the confrontation. Both officers, standard procedure in such incidents, were placed on administrative leave pending a full review. Crucially, both troopers had body-worn cameras, and their vehicles were equipped with dashboard cameras. Footage from these cameras would be essential evidence in understanding the precise sequence of events during those final, tense moments. Terea Brown was dead, just hours after Lacresha Black. But was her death a result of the officer's bullets, or did this tragic story take another, final, desperate turn in the isolation of her stopped car? With the immediate, urgent sequence of events concluded, investigations in 2 states began. In Hamilton County, Ohio, the Springfield Township Police Department focused on the homicide of Lacresha Black, working to establish the definitive motive, examining the history of her relationship with Terea Brown, and collecting all evidence from the scene. Simultaneously, in Clinton County, Indiana, the state police launched their separate investigation into the officer-involved shooting that ended the pursuit. Their work would involve a meticulous review of body-worn and dashboard camera footage, interviews with the involved troopers, and forensic analysis, all to determine if the use of deadly force was justified under the circumstances. The findings from Indiana would then go to the Clinton County Prosecutor's Office for review. A major question remained after the standoff in Indiana. Precisely how did Terea Brown die? Initial reports noted uncertainty. Was it from police gunfire, or something else? A detail emerged later, a stark comment left on her online obituary page that simply stated, "She killed herself." While not officially confirmed by law enforcement at the time, this aligned with the initial uncertainty surrounding her death in the vehicle. The firearm recovered from inside the car could potentially support either scenario. A definitive answer, the true cause and manner of her death, would require a comprehensive autopsy report. The public interest in the case, particularly regarding the events in Indiana, was clear. A Freedom of Information Act request was filed seeking access to the police body camera and cruiser media. This desire for transparency underscores the public's need to understand exactly what happened during that final confrontation and the decisions made by law enforcement.
It's a deadly shooting that started in Springfield Township, but it ended in Clinton County, Indiana, where the suspect was in a shootout with state troopers and SWAT teams.
So that suspect is dead, and WCPO 9 News anchor Brent Bugansky found out the 2 of them were actually married.
They knocked on the door and told me that it was a bullet hole in my window.
A traumatizing Monday morning. Linda Sales says she looked outside of her Springfield Township apartment to see police officers and crime tape, then realized someone shot and killed her neighbor, Lacresha Black, just feet from her door, and one of those bullets hit her back window.
It's so blessed and lucky that I was sleeping, that I was in the back. I'm so thankful that my grandkids weren't here, because that's the area where they play, eat, and spend their time.
Minutes earlier,
911, do you have an emergency?
Yes, someone's dead.
a 911 call from a man who was with Black.
Who is this person to you? A friend?
She's like a caretaker to me.
At the time, the man who called wasn't sure who shot her.
Okay, do you know of her? Like, have you seen her before, or was she just a stranger?
I saw her a couple times.
We found out through Hamilton County court records, Lacresha Black and the suspect 42-year-old Terea Brown were married. One friend of Black described their relationship to WCPO 9 News as on again, off again, and the two would fight often. About 2.5 hours later, after the fatal shooting in Springfield Township, another shooting, this time between Brown and Indiana State Police on I-65 in Clinton County. ISP said troopers tried to stop Brown on the interstate, but said she never stopped, and during the chase, fired shots at troopers from her car. Troopers shot back at her. SWAT was also called and discovered Brown dead in her car. Indiana State Police said they recovered a gun from Brown's car, but they didn't make it clear if she died from gunshots by state troopers. I reached out to Brown's family, but I haven't heard back from them. In Springfield Township, Brett Bagansky, WCPO 9 News.
Ultimately, this story is rooted in the tragic loss of Lacresha Black. She was only 33. The collective memories shared by her friends and community paint a picture of a person loved for her kindness, humor, and strength. Even in the face of past challenges, her absence leaves a profound emptiness for those who knew her. This true crime story, while specific to these individuals, holds difficult but vital lessons for all of us. It stands as a sobering example of the devastating end point that unresolved conflict and deep instability within relationships can reach. It highlights the critical importance of addressing serious relationship issues head-on, seeking help from trusted friends, family, or professional resources when arguments become frequent or dynamics turn volatile. The events of that November morning, stretching from a quiet Ohio street to an Indiana country road, serve as a stark reminder of how rapidly conflict can escalate and the irreversible consequences of violence. It's a painful reflection on the fragility of human life and the necessity of finding ways to navigate difficult relationship dynamics before they become destructive. This case compels us to consider the pressures that can build unseen, and the tragic cost when they finally break. This case is a heart-wrenching reminder. Share this story respectfully to help others understand the potential outcomes of unresolved conflict. If you found this in-depth look valuable, please subscribe to Whistles of True Crime and hit the like button. Your engagement helps us continue to explore these important cases. This case began with a sudden, brutal act outside a Cincinnati home, the murder of Lacresha Black. It became a cross-state flight, a desperate chase, and a final, fatal confrontation in Indiana that also ended the life of Terea Brown. 2 lives extinguished, linked by a volatile relationship that reached a breaking point with horrifying speed and irreversible consequences. The story serves as a stark reminder. The conflict and pressures within relationships, if left unaddressed, can lead to unimaginable outcomes. It underscores the vital need to recognize warning signs and seek help before private struggles erupt into public tragedies. We share these stories to remember those lost and to learn from the events that took them. What are your thoughts on this deeply sad case? Please share them respectfully in the comments below. Your perspective and engagement help keep the conversation going. If you found this video informative and impactful, please give it a like and share it. And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to Whistles of True Crime for more in-depth looks at real cases. Our hearts go out to Lacresha's family and friends during this incredibly difficult time. We are deeply saddened by the loss of such a promising young woman and hope you find strength and comfort in the memories you shared with her. Her light will not be forgotten. Thank you for watching. Stay vigilant, stay informed, and above all, stay safe. See you on our next video.